Hey there, explorers. Welcome to the wild world of viral facts. Today, we're diving into some mind-blowing, laugh-out-loud, and absolutely true facts that went viral. Get ready to be amazed and amused. Picture this, folks. Florence, Oregon, 1970. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and a 45-foot, 8-ton whale carcass is, well, carcassing on the beach. Naturally, people are a little grossed out. So, the brilliant minds in charge decided, hey, you know what'll fix this? Let's blow it up with dynamite.
Dynamite, like they're in an old-timey cartoon.
You can probably guess what happened next, right? Spoiler alert. It was a bigger boom than they expected. We're talking chunks of whale blubber flying through the air like greasy meteorites. Cars got pancaked, onlookers got showered in whale bits. And the smell? Don't even get me started on the smell. They definitely didn't have YouTube back then to capture all the chaos. But trust me, it would have gone viral faster than a cat playing piano. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this next story is straight out of a Monty Python sketch. We're talking about Australia, 1932, and the Great Emu War. You heard me right, emus. Those big, flightless birds with the crazy kicks. Turns out Australia had a bit of an emu problem. They were running amok, eating crops, and generally being a nuisance. So what did the Australian government do? They declared war on the emus. They sent in soldiers armed with Lewis guns, ready to take down those feathered fiends.
Bring it on, humans.
Now, you'd think this would be an easy win for the humans, right? Nope. The emus were surprismanly good at dodging bullets. They were like little feathered ninjas, darting and weaving and basically saying, "Bring it on, humans." The result? The emus won. They outmaneuvered, outsmarted, and out-emued the Australian army. It was a humiliating defeat for the humans and a glorious victory for flightless birds everywhere. The moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of a determined emu. All right, party people, get ready to groove because this next viral fact is all about getting down. It's the year 1518, and the town of Strasbourg is hit by a dancing plague. Not a plague that makes you dance, mind you. A plague where people couldn't stop dancing. It started with one woman, Frau Trophia, who just started busting a move in the street, and then another person joined in, and another, until hundreds of people were dancing day and night. They couldn't stop. They danced until their feet bled, until they collapsed from exhaustion, until some of them even, didn't make it. Doctors were baffled. They blamed it on everything from hot blood to demonic possession. But nobody really knows what caused this bizarre outbreak of boogie fever. Imagine walking down the street and suddenly, bam! You're struck by the uncontrollable urge to dance the Macarena for a week straight. Talk about a workout! Chapter 4. The CIA's Cat Spy. Okay, cat lovers, this one's for you. You know how your feline friends love to sneak around, eavesdrop on your conversations, and generally act suspicious?
Well, the CIA noticed that too, and they thought, hey, we can use that.
Thus began Operation Acoustic Kitty, the CIA's top-secret plan to turn cats into Cold War spies. They took a regular house cat, implanted a microphone in its ear, a radio transmitter at the base of its tail, and even ran wires through its fur. This poor kitty was basically a walking, meowing surveillance device. They released their furry agent into the field, ready to capture some juicy Soviet secrets. And what happened?
Well, on its very first mission, the cat got distracted by a taxi.
Yep, a taxi. It wandered into the street, got hit by a car, and that was the end of Operation Acoustic Kitty. The project was scrapped, and the CIA learned a valuable lesson. Never underestimate the power of a cat's short attention span. Chapter 5. The most t-shirts worn at once. All right, fashionistas, get ready to be amazed. Meet Sanath Bandara from Sri Lanka, the world record holder for wearing the most t-shirts at once. How many, you ask? A mind-boggling 257. Can you imagine the effort it took to put on all those shirts? The sheer willpower? The sweat? I bet he needed an entire team of assistants just to help him get dressed. He must have looked like a human marshmallow waddling around. So next time you're struggling to get dressed, just remember Sanath Bandara and his mountain of t-shirts. If he can do it, you can handle anything. Chapter 6. The Chicken That Lived Without a Head. Buckle up, folks, because this next story is about to get weird, even for us.
In 1945, a farmer in Colorado named Lloyd Olson was tasked with the unfortunate chore of preparing some chickens for dinner. But when it came to one unlucky bird named Mike, well, let's just say the axe didn't quite do its job.
Mike the chicken, against all odds, was still kicking, or at least stumbling around. You see, Lloyd's axe had missed Mike's jugular vein and left a good chunk of his brainstem intact. So Mike lived, without a head. He couldn't see, he couldn't cluck, but he could still swallow and, well, exist.
Lloyd, being the kind soul he was, decided to keep Mike alive. feeding him a mixture of milk and water directly into his esophagus.
Mike the Headless Chicken became a national sensation. People flocked from all over to see this medical marvel, this feathered freak of nature. Mike lived for another 18 months, traveling the country, posing for photos, and basically proving that chickens are way tougher than we give them credit for. Chapter 7. The Man Who Survived 2 Atomic Bombs. Hold on to your hats because this next story is truly unbelievable. We're talking about a man named Tsutomu Yamaguchi, and his story is nothing short of miraculous. You see, Tsutomu was a survivor, and not just of any ordinary disaster. He survived not 1, but 2 atomic bombs. That's right, you heard me correctly. 2. In 1945, Tsutomu was on a business trip to Hiroshima when the first bomb hit. He was just a few miles from ground zero and suffered severe burns. But he survived. Injured and in shock, he made his way back to his hometown of Nagasaki. And you can probably guess what happened next. 3 days later, the second bomb hit. Tsutomu was at work, just a couple of miles from ground zero, when the Nagasaki bomb exploded. He was thrown from his chair, suffered temporary blindness, and his already existing burns worsened. But once again, he survived. Tsutomu Yamaguchi became a living testament to the resilience of the human spirit. He became known as the luckiest unlucky man alive. His story is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope and the will to survive can prevail. Tsutomu lived a long life, eventually succumbing to cancer at the age of 93. He dedicated his remaining years to speaking out against nuclear weapons and promoting peace. Chapter 8. The World's Largest Snowball Fight. All right, snow bunnies and winter warriors, this next one's for you. Have you ever been in a snowball fight? The adrenaline, the laughter, the sting of a perfectly aimed snowball hitting your unsuspecting friend? Well, imagine that times 1,000. In 2013, the city of Seattle hosted the world's largest snowball fight, and it was an epic battle for the ages. Picture this. Over 5,834 people, all armed with snowballs, gathered in a park, ready to unleash frosty fury upon each other. The Guinness World Record for the largest snowball fight still stands today, a testament to Seattle's love of winter and good, clean, frozen fun. Chapter 9. The Oldest Yo Mama Joke. Get ready to laugh because this next viral fact proves that some things never get old, even after thousands of years. We're talking about the oldest known Yo Mama joke, and it dates all the way back to ancient Mesopotamia. Archaeologists discovered a clay tablet from around 1900 BC that contains a joke that's instantly recognizable to anyone who's ever been on the receiving end of a good old-fashioned Yo Mama diss. Ready for this? Yo Mama is the kind of person who goes to the carpenter's shop for a door, and when he asks her what size, she says, "I'll know it when I see it." Chapter 10. The Longest Hiccuping Spree. All right, folks, get ready to say hic, because this next story is about a guy who just couldn't stop hiccuping. We all get the hiccups now and then, right? It's annoying, it's embarrassing, but it usually goes away after a few minutes. Well, not for Charles Osborne. This poor guy holds the Guinness World Record for the longest hiccuping spree ever recorded. How long did he hiccup for, you ask? Hold on to your hats, because it's about to get ridiculous. Charles Osborne hiccuped for a mind-boggling 68 years. It started in 1922, after a minor accident while slaughtering a hog. I guess you could say he got a little choked up about it. But instead of going away like a normal case of the hiccups, Charles's hiccups just kept going. He hiccuped through his wedding, the births of his children, and even the moon landing. Can you imagine? Hiccuping every few seconds for 68 years? I bet he tried every home remedy in the book, holding his breath, drinking water upside down, being scared by a clown. But nothing worked. Charles eventually learned to live with his chronic hiccups, even becoming a bit of a celebrity because of them. And guess what? After 68 years, his hiccups just vanished. Poof, gone. It just goes to show, sometimes even the most persistent of problems can disappear as mysteriously as they arrived. And there you have it, folks. The wildest, weirdest, and most wonderful viral facts that will leave you laughing and scratching your head. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more amazing adventures in the wild world of viral facts.
Waving, stay curious, stay quirky, and see you next time.